Hey, Aubrey.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, Lindsay. It's funny because I think some students don't know our voices. Sometimes I'll be in open conversation club. They'll be like, "Hello, Lindsay," or they don't hear my voice yet, and they don't watch on YouTube, so they don't know what we look like.
Right. That can happen. Guys, check us out on YouTube. We're over there, and then you'll know who is who,
Yes.
right? Hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. Good
I wonder if
stuff.
you guys would be surprised. I was surprised once. I had listened to a podcast for a while, and then I checked it out on YouTube, and the opposite of what I thought for the host voice. I
Ah,
was like, "Oh, goodness."
interesting. Yeah, that
That's
can
funny.
happen sometimes.
Mhm.
That's so funny. Huh. It's weird the vision we get of someone when we
Yeah,
only hear their voice. Where does that
like how
come
I thought
from?
you were really tall.
Well, thank
I
you,
would've
I
said
guess.
you're like 5'11".
Not even close. I
Big
wish.
personality.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it as a compliment, Aubrey.
Right.
So, today we're going into a part two of our concept of worth, right? The word worth and where it shows up in English. So excited.
Exactly. We talked
Yes.
about this in if you missed part 1, scroll up, episode 2232. It's worth the effort to learn this vocabulary. We got a great question about the word worth, and we use it in so many ways in English.
Yeah.
So this second part is more about idioms.
Yeah. So, for example, talking about something, that's worth its weight in gold. I mean, for us, we bought ski passes last year and we do every year because they're worth their weight in gold. Well, first of all, it's very expensive to buy a single ski ticket pass. So, you save money as long as you go 6 times and it also provide not just that, but it provides something to do in the winter, and it provides like a lifestyle, spending time with your
Mhm.
family, spending time with friends, getting outdoors. It provides way more than just that money exchange.
Well, and that's a really interesting it shows that this is not literal, because if you actually had the weight of a ski lift pass in gold, like if it's a ticket, would
Yeah,
not weigh very much. It probably actually costs more than that,
right.
right?
Sure.
But it's very idiomatic of something that just has a lot of value for you.
Exactly. And that could be really dependent on the person's values, like meaning what they care
Right.
about. Like for you, Aubrey, what is worth its weight in gold for you? What did you buy recently? Anything?
Yeah, for me, it was a trampoline park pass that I got for the twins, and it's a all you can play, right? All day long as you wanna play there, and so often I'll be, like, writing blogs for our website while they're
Uh-huh.
playing at this trampoline
Nice.
park, and they
Wow.
have a blast, and it's indoor because here in Arizona, once it gets hot,
Too hot.
it's too hot for them to go outside, they get sick of swimming, so that pass is worth its
Yes.
weight in gold for me.
Right. So anything that allows you in Arizona to be out of the heat in the summer, keep your kids busy,
Yep,
worth its
exactly.
weight in gold. Okay, that's the concept. And it's interesting that for both of the examples we gave, it's more experiences. It's not always true. Often this is used for an object, but I
Yeah,
just
you could
couldn't
say this
think of
about a smartwatch maybe. "Oh, my
Mm,
smartwatch is worth its weight in gold," which means I
right.
love it, I use it all the time.
Sure, sure. But certain things that are really worth way more than what you paid for it, really. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly, right. So
Okay.
this is our first. We have 4 today, idioms that we use with worth.
Yeah.
So
And
let's get oh, so yeah, go
And
ahead.
and just to make sure our listeners, just to refresh this, make sure
Mm,
this is clear. These are totally different from what we talked about earlier in the week. The idioms you already learned. These are brand new ones. Okay, these are not repeating anything. These are brand
exactly.
new.
Part
Yes.
1 was more how we use worth as an adjective and a noun and some expressions, like we just say "worth it" or "worth it." So
Right.
definitely go check that out. Today, we're teaching idioms that we didn't have time to share on part 1.
Okay. Love it. What's number one?
Yeah, so worth its weight in gold, which you asked me about here. That
Yeah.
trampoline park pass has definitely been worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, or noise canceling headphones on a noisy flight. Maybe there's a baby crying behind you. The jet engines are loud just to begin with. A jet engine is quite loud when you're trying to watch a movie.
Absolutely. Or at this
Mhm.
trampoline park, I use noise canceling headphones because there's all the screaming children in there. I would not be able to work if I didn't have noise canceling headphones.
Wow,
They are
yeah.
worth their weight in gold.
I feel like I should get some. I don't have them, but I've heard they work really well.
Highly recommend on flights and at trampoline parks.
Okay, good to know. But aren't they big kind of
Mine are not, mine are AirPods.
oh,
They're Apple
AirPods.
AirPods, but that are noise
Oh,
canceling and they work like
wow.
magic.
Okay, good to know, good to
It's
know. And
crazy.
then the next expression is for what it's worth. How do we use this one, Aubrey?
Yeah, this is when whoever's speaking is not sure whether what they're about to say will be helpful or valued. So they're
Yeah.
sort of trying to take back the responsibility. Like you might
Yeah.
say, For what it's worth, they're always late. So you're telling someone they might be late, but I don't know for sure they might be on time. For what it's worth,
Yeah.
they're usually late.
Right. Or I liked that movie for what it's worth. Maybe someone's trying to decide whether to go to that movie.
Yeah.
And we don't,
And
it's
sort of
kind of like,
sharing, like, in my opinion,
in
I
my
liked it.
opinion,
I thought it was great, but I don't know if you will, so I
exactly.
liked it for what it's
Yeah.
worth.
It's kind of a way of showing humility a little bit, stepping back
Mhm.
and saying, I'm not sure if this is important to you that I liked it, but for what it's worth, I like that movie.
Exactly. Either a lack of confidence in your opinion or humility. I like the way you said that. Both of those could be sort of implied here. I use this expression a lot. Do you, Lindsay?
I don't actually, but
I think
I
I don't.
could.
I worry about giving a recommendation and then someone hating something. That's definitely happened to me before. So I think I will say
Yeah.
this to sort of remove responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it, for what it's worth. You decide on your own if you're going to go or
Yeah.
not.
And that is a great episode idea for another day, Aubrey. How to qualify your suggestion by stepping
Mm,
back one step. And what
yeah,
it's
and
worth
this
would be
is
one, and there are
wonderful.
other things we might say. Right. All right. Number three. Number three. What is it?
All right, this is for all one is worth. This means you're putting in maximum effort. On part one, if you went and listened, you heard me talk about a tug of war
Oh, yeah.
where I was pulling for all I was worth, means you are pulling as hard as you can. You're putting in maximum effort.
100%. Right. When the car was stuck, we pushed for all we were worth.
Has this ever happened to you, Lindsay? Our car used to get stuck in the snow and we would all have to get out and push for all we were worth.
Yeah, I don't think it has, but I feel like
Mm.
I have to do this every day at the gym, especially if I take a week off from working out. Like last night, I went back to the gym after a week of being on the East Coast and being on
Mm.
planes, being in cars, basically like sitting around for a week. Oh my gosh, Aubrey, I had to push myself for all I was worth. It was
So you were
hard.
like ready to give up
Just
in
a
minute one.
week. It's incredible how quickly you can get out of shape. So these kind of moments when we're really pushing ourselves physically,
Totally.
mentally, yeah.
Yes. And I think you'll hear this most often when someone else is letting everyone know how hard they need to push, right? I'm
Mhm.
imagining we would get out to push the car out of the snow bank,
Yeah.
or off the slick snow. And my dad would be like, push for all you're worth. Meaning like push as hard as you can.
Yeah, 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 very cool. I love it. I love it. Anything else there?
Yeah, you could say, if you're going to win this race, you need to run for all you're worth. This might be something you tell yourself if you're running and you need that extra motivation, that push. Or you might say to someone else if you're helping them get that motivation.
Yeah, come on, run for all you're worth. Go for it, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maximum effort.
All right. This next one, I love it. I think I use this one a lot. Number 4, worth a try or worth a shot.
Yeah,
Worth
they
a
mean the
shot.
same.
Mhm.
Means it's worth trying, but it didn't work out. Like, it was worth the effort, but something didn't work out. Might
Yeah.
say, "I'm bummed I didn't get the part in the play, but it was worth a shot."
Yeah. But this also could be used before you try the thing. Yeah, I think it's worth a try. Let's go and try
Absolutely.
this. Let's do this. It's worth a try. It's worth a shot, right? So it
Yeah.
doesn't
Do you
have
use
to
one of
be
these more often? Worth a try or worth a shot? Or
do
pretty
I?
or yeah. I think I use both
I like them
pretty
both.
yeah.
I like them
I
both.
I hear
Yeah.
both. Yeah, and they mean the exact same thing. I don't know why we
Yeah.
have both. Just for
Right.
fun.
Yeah, and as a response, right, someone tells you, "Oh, that didn't work out." "Oh, it was worth a try." Right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's do a little mini role play to show that. I'll start it.
Okay.
Did you win a raffle prize when you bought those tickets?
Nope.
Worth a shot,
Yeah,
right? So
and
you might just say, like, "Worth a shot, worth a try."
you're yeah, it's very natural language here, guys, because you're taking out "it was" and you're just saying,
Right?
worth a shot." And that's conversation, that's connection, that's what are you gonna say? Are you gonna say, "Oh, that's too bad"? No. Yeah.
This is so much better because 'cause you're still saying staying positive.
Yeah, you're
Like,
staying positive.
especially if something like this where they're paying money for raffle tickets, lottery tickets, whatever it is, they don't win. Yeah, if you're like, "Oh, what a waste of money." That does not make them feel good, right? But this is great. "Oh, worth a shot."
Yeah, and that might be cultural, what we're telling you right now, right? So
Yeah.
just an
This is
awareness
very
that
US
culture might be
culture.
playing into it. We are a very much a culture that wants things wrapped up in a bow and to
Mm,
end a conversation on a positive note. It's just everywhere in our language. If you listen to conversations, it might not be true in your own country or culture. So when
interesting.
you think
True.
about translating directly, might not translate as well when you're
Right.
speaking in the US at least. Super
Yeah, and if you're in
interesting.
the US, I definitely recommend this because I do know people who have a tendency to say something negative or critical, and it's tough. I'm like, "Oh,"
That's
I
just
would much rather someone say like, "Worth a shot, stay positive."
it's just easier to live around people like that,
Yeah, right?
it just makes
Easier
life
to stay
easier.
positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. No one wants that kind of feeling. I don't know. All right, role play, Aubrey. Shall we go into it?
Yes, you and I are at an estate sale
All
in
right.
this role play. Have you ever been to an estate sale, Lindsay?
Yes, I
Nice.
have actually
Yeah, so
recently.
this is like it's a sale at someone's home where they're selling, like, furniture and larger items usually.
Right. All right, here we go.
I'll start us. Did you see this record is signed by John Lennon? This is worth its weight in gold.
Very cool. I'm not a huge Beatles fan, so probably not worth the money for me.
It's only $150, worth it. I'm gonna ask if they'll sell it for 100.
I doubt it, but worth a try.
Nice. I love this role
That's
play.
hilarious. Oh my god, this is so funny.
Do
Um,
you bargain like that at an estate sale or a garage sale? Would
um
you ask to try and get it for less than they're selling it for?
Yeah, but having been on the other side of holding these sales, it's kind of annoying because you're
Yeah,
like,
I'm
"Look, the
sure.
thing we're pricing it at $3 and we paid 100 for it. Now you want it for 150." It makes me make kinda makes you crazy. But
Well,
you
and
are
it's interesting
trying to get
because
rid of
usually if you know people are going to try and get a bargain, you're just going to price it higher
Yeah.
expecting that.
Yeah.
So, it's
Depends
kind
on
of silly.
how quickly you wanna remove the items.
Right.
But yeah, no,
I'm
that's
curious for all of you out there listening, because I feel like this is different in different cultures. When we go to Mexico, you're expected to haggle. You're expected to bargain on the prices. So whatever it's priced for, if I offer whatever $5, $10 less, then maybe they'll come back, but they'll always change
yeah,
the price. But
right.
here in the US at a regular retail store, you would
No.
not want to do that.
No, you can't go to Target and try to barter.
You could try, but they're gonna
You
say
could
no.
try. Yeah, for sure, for sure. But at a yard sale or an estate sale or a
Then
garage
yes.
sale, what do we call them? You can do that. Mhm.
Yeah, yard sale, garage sale, that's where people are sort of out in front of their home with a lot of
Right.
their household items or whatever that they're
Yes.
selling. You just drive by and buy their stuff.
Yeah, and you can find some pretty cool historical stuff. A lot of Americana you can find, especially if the people were around like in the 50s, the 60s, some relics
Yes.
that you can come across in these sales, especially, for the older generation. So, can be kind
My
of
kids
cool.
love garage sales. I let them pick books and games, and it's all new to them, right? But
Sure, and it's cheap for you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so what did you say first?
Yeah, so I first said I found this record signed by John Lennon, one of the Beatles who has passed away. So I said, this is worth its weight in gold. Because if I'm a huge Beatles fan, that's extremely rare. That would be worth a very high price to me.
Right, for sure. And then I said, very cool, but I'm not a huge Beatles fan, so probably not worth the money for me. And again, here I'm dropping, so it is not worth the money for me. It is probably not,
Yes, and
right?
this is a callback to part 1. So if you missed it, we talked about something being worth the blank noun, worth the money, worth the effort. If you didn't, go back and check out part 1.
Go back and check out, don't miss the part one of this series, guys. Don't miss it.
Yeah, and then I said, "It's only 150, worth it." So I'm saying it's definitely worth this price, but then I'm like, "But I'm still gonna see if they'll sell it to me for less."
Right. And then I said, I doubt it, but worth a try. Nice.
Yeah, awesome.
Very
This is so
cool.
good. There's so many idioms in English with worth, and idiomatic language really boosts your fluency level and how well you're able to connect with others in English, right? If you replaced these with very simple sentences, it's not nearly as interesting. This is a more fun conversation.
Yes, I love it. And kind of reflect on what we said earlier today around just positivity in language. Does your culture expect positivity in language or finishing a conversation on a
Mm,
positive note? It's not true everywhere in
mm,
English, in American English, right? Not every conversation is supposed to end, if you're talking about death or something, that doesn't have to end in a good way, right? But a
right.
lot of conversations, we do tend to want to wrap it up with an up tone, an up note in a
Right, wrap it
sense.
up with a bow, like we say. So if you're in the
Right.
US, you might have noticed that, and you might want to make an effort to try and do that because the Americans that you're talking to will sort of be used to that and might kinda be like, "Oh," if you end it with something negative.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So think about your language. Is that true? And it's good to be able to reflect on,
Yeah,
what are the frames that we're bringing into a new language? Super interesting.
very interesting. I loved this series. Thank you for joining me, Lindsay. So interesting.
All right, good stuff. I'll see you soon, Aubrey. Have a good one.
Awesome. You too.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.